Okay, so we get to the estimation question here, and we can say estimate how many books, $7.05 at $424. So it's just an estimation. They don't want exact values. They want to see how good your estimation skills. That is clearly going to be 7. And this one, because it's 7, we can, if we round that down to 420, 42 goes into 7 6 times. That's why they expect you to do it this way. And then the next one, the two-step equations. The challenge you've got here is that you've got 2 brackets, and because the 2 and the 3 can't be simplified further down, the best way to approach this is to multiply out the brackets. And so you've got 2 lots of 2x, which is 4x, 2 lots of 1 is 2, 3 lots of x, and 3 lots of negative 4. And then what you're going to do, this side's got most x's, get rid of those 3 x's from both sides. So you're left with x plus 2 equals negative 12, and then get rid of the plus 2 from both sides by taking it away. And don't be scared if your answer is like that. Right, let's turn over. Okay, writing form and expressions. An airplane has an economy and first class seating S. There are S seats, so the number of seats, they can change. Different flights have different number of seats. So they are a variable, and we call that S. But we're told here, so S seats economy, T seats for first class, 9 rows in first class, so it's 9T plus 24S. And that will tell you how many seats altogether. That's what they wanted. In this one, it's quadratic, it's called completing the square. So this one does require a bit more work on. The answer, they want this to complete the square because they want it in this format here. And that's what they've asked it as, okay? So this is what you do. You always, when this is 1, the coefficient of x squared is 1, when that is the case, you half that 12. So it becomes x plus 6. Notice I've got rid of the square. So that's all I do. And if I square that now, if I multiply this out using FOIL, you'll see that you end up getting x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 36. And so if I add those ones together, I get exactly what I want here. Okay, so I get this, but I also get the plus 36. So I need to get rid of that. So minus 36 and then drop that down, minus 1. So I end up with x plus 6 all squared minus 37. Now we get this one, change the subject equation. You've got p minus 2 equals, now notice you've got a p in both sides, and so that's going to be awkward, and it's in a bracket. So first of all, multiply out the bracket, and I end up with that. Bring all the p's together and everything else throw over to that side. So I get p minus 3 pi p equals, what's supposed to be a minus there, not an equals, pi y plus 2. So now that I've done that, that was a minus. So if I go across, that's going to be a plus, doesn't it? When it crosses the equal sign, it changes signs. So that becomes your plus, that minus becomes a plus there. Just checking, yeah, that's how it goes. Good. Now, I can take, if I put a 1 in there, you'll see why that's important in a second. I've got a p there and a p there, so I can factorize p out. If I did that, that's why my 1 was important. I end up with something like this. And now to get p on its own, I need to get rid of this. It's used by multiplying. So divide both sides by that bracket. I have no idea what this means. Don't need that bracket anymore. And that's what I can do like that. Boom. Okay, how are we doing for time? 4 minutes. Okay, let's go on to this one here. Volume and surface area of a cylinder. So we've got the height of the cylinder is x. And I think the diameter they talk about there is 2x. And what they're saying is that the surface area equals 400 pi. So they want to find the value of x if it's 400 pi. Now, what you've got to remember about a cylinder like this is I take the top off and the bottom off. They're both circles. But inside, if I unravel that, I get a rectangle. And what you've got to notice is that this circumference is the same as that length there. And if the surface area equals 400 pi, then I know the surface area, I know the area of a circle, pi r squared, and I know the area of a rectangle is base times height. So that's a kind of general thing I know. Can I apply these values into this? Well, we know that that base is a circumference. That's what we talked about, wasn't it? The circumference is pi d, and so it's pi times the diameter. The diameter is 2x, so we know it's going to be pi times 2x, so 2x times pi. That's our width across there, times it by our drop of x, so that's times by x, so that's going to be 2x squared pi, or 2 pi x squared, it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to leave it like that. This one here, the radius, now I'm using the radius. This one said the diameter. Now we know the diameter is 2x, so the radius is going to be x. So it literally is swapping r for x here. So that area is pi x squared. This area here is also pi x squared. And so what I can say is I've got that and that's 2 pi x squared plus 2 pi x squared here. So I'm adding that like that. So I end up with 4 pi x squared. That's really quite handy because 4 pi x squared, and they tell me at the top that that area equals 400 pi. So I can see, first of all, I can get rid of the pi's, and then it's 4x squared equals 400. I feel so comfortable now. Divide everything by 4, and you get that. So x must be 10. Good. Right, let's see if I can do one more question. See what happens here. Ratio. So let's just have a look at that question. So Dean has red and blue sweets. Red and blue sweets in the ratio of 2 to 5. So what I'm going to say is I'm not going to say 2 to 5, I'm going to say 2x to 5x. Get into that habit. We don't exactly know how many are. It might be 2, it might be 5, it might be 20, 50, 200, 500, whatever it is. So I put 2x to 5x. Now the question says that Dean eats 2 red. So if I now take away actual 2 from that, okay, so that's what we've got left with there. And we're told that that is in the ratio now of 1 to 3. So that's in the ratio of 1 to 3. And this is what's really clever. This 1 represents this value here. This 5 is represented here. So what I can say is as a fraction, that's 1 over 3. So it's 1 over 3 there. And that's going to be the same as 2x minus 2 over 5x. Okay, there are different ways to do this, but it's a kind of neat way. So now what I'm going to do is I'll multiply out there and there. So I end up with 3 lots of that. So 3 lots of 2x, 3 lots of minus 2, minus 6, and 5x lots of 1. So now get rid of 5x from both sides and then add 6 to both sides. So x equals 6. How many blue sweets? Well, I say blue sweets are 5x. So 5 times 6. So blue is 30. Okay.